Hey, what's up everyone, Same Time Gaming here. Welcome back from the Division 2 build video. Yes guys, build video. Today is 31st of December and I am making a build video. Yes, and Happy New Year to all you guys who has already reached, first January 2021, or basically anyone who's about to celebrate. So yeah, Happy New Year to you all and to all your family. And I hope you guys are staying safe, and that's all I can say. Now this build is really important to me because I run it all the time, and I'm really successful with this build, honestly, and I'm kind of selfish as well at the same time. When I use this build, my go-to thing when I use this build, like, I'm very serious, and the only thing comes on my mind is when I'm playing with this build is that I will get the most kills. I'll steal your kill. I'm not gonna get that. When the mission ends, when I see how much kills everybody got, it should be my name at the top with the most kills, and that's basically how I play with this build. You can do raid with this, you can do pretty much anything with this, because this is really super strong build, and you have to honestly adapt to this build. I have helped a few of my friends to make this build, but they really can't play it well enough, honestly. But yeah, today I'm going to tell you what I actually do. I do have this build out like 4 or 5 months ago, but at that time the build wasn't that crazy good because we didn't had generic mod slots, so I couldn't add some crits here and there because we had like yellow, red and blue like that, so we couldn't add any crit whatever we want to. But now every single title update, the builds kind of getting better and better, and also the old builds are getting even better because new weapons and new gears and new talents are kind of like improving the old builds as well. So my build has also improved a lot, and I'm just going to show you how I run it and why I run it like that. So this is my build. I'm going to show you here. This is my build over here. As you can see, it's my Negotiator Dilemma build. If you're following my channel, you probably know by now. I did mention my Negotiator Dilemma build a lot of times on my different build videos, honestly. But yeah, this is my Negotiator, and this is how I actually run it. So I use the firewall specialization is because the firewall specialization, the armor kit is pretty strong. When you apply the armor kit for like 10 seconds, you just keep on regenerating your armor and also your health, so which is pretty good. Now if you combine it with the gunner specialization, it may be a little bit better, but I actually prefer this one because I do end up using a lot of armor kit because when I run this build, I feel like the NPCs target me a lot. Like, I get focused a lot because I'm doing like 3 times the damage. Now I will elaborate what I mean by 3 times the damage is because the Negotiator Dilemma does 3 times the more damage. I'll get to that in a moment. But the weapon of choice is Eagle Bearer. This has always been my favorite, like a soul rifle Eagle Bearer. There's no doubt about that, and I just use it. The perfect combination with Negotiator Dilemma build, because Negotiator takes a lot of damage from the NPCs. I feel it that way because I don't know, it's just a weird mechanic or something, but when I'm doing a lot of damage to the NPCs, they just completely ignore the guys who are in front of them, literally in front of them, and they just burst me down. I just don't know why. I just feel so stupid without knowing this, but I'm pretty sure this is like a typical mechanic that if you're doing more damage, you're going down first because they're smart enough to target you. So which is kind of all right. I don't mind that, but so that's why I use the Eagle Bearer, because it actually works as an advantage for me sometimes, but sometimes it does work as a disadvantage because of its talent. So when I get a headshot kill, I'm kind of immune because of that tenacity buff coming in. So I'm kind of immune to like bullets. I'm not really taking that much of damage, and if I get like 3 headshot kills, I will completely like be immune basically. But if I'm not really if I'm taking a lot of damage and I'm not getting those headshots, like 3 more headshots after getting 1 more, then when the buff disappears, all the damage that has been taken by me will be applied on me, and then I will go down. Yeah, it's hilarious, it's fun. Sometimes even when I'm like out of combat, when the area is cleared, the buff goes away and I just went down because I took so much damage. It's fun to run with the Eagle Better, but yeah, you can actually do a lot of face tanking with this build. I mean, with the Eagle Better weapon itself. So I just overall love this weapon, honestly. So now the secondary is my Police M4. I had a killer talent on it, just to increase a little more crit on that. You can run in sync if you want to. You can also run, I have a FAMAS. Sometimes I run this FAMAS here with InSync. But I kind of like the Police M4 the way actually, I don't know, I just like the RPM and stuff, and the handling of the Police M4 is kind of better than the FAMAS in my opinion. So I kind of run that. So yeah. And now I use Coyote Mask most of the times on my DPS builds because it's not going to help me, but also going to help my teammates. They're going to get that additional crit damage or crit chance or whatever they're looking for. But when I'm close, I'm going to get that additional crit damage, which is pretty sweet as well. So I do have like crit chance mod here just because I want to get more crit chance on this. Now the chest piece I run is a Grupo Sombra because of that 15% crit damage, and the Obliterate talent is here. At first, I used to run a Perfect Glass Cannon chest piece. I don't even think I have any Perfect Glass Cannon. I'm pretty sure I deleted them. Yeah, you can run a Fenris with Obliterate as well if you want, but the Grupo will definitely going to do a little bit more damage than the Fenris. Not a lot of difference between Fenris and Grupo, but yeah, it's just a bit like 2,000 to 3,000 damage more. I've tested it, but I'm just going to go for Grupo because it's overall the better damage. Now, 4-piece Negotiator, do run the backpack. I'm pretty sure the build I showed like 5 months ago, I didn't use the backpack, but this time I'm actually using the backpack. Is when you use the backpack, you do 100% more damage to your marked targets, and I'll get to that in a moment. So for new players, if you don't know, 2-piece Negotiator gives you 15% crit chance, 3-piece Negotiator gives you 20% critical hit damage, and the 4-piece gives you that Hostile Negotiator talent. So what that happens is critical hit marks enemies for 20 seconds. You can mark up to 3 NPCs, but if you wear a chest piece of Negotiator, you can mark up to 5 NPCs, which I don't really recommend, but if you want, you can do that. I mean, I just experiment with it, but I feel like the backpack is way better than a chest piece, because when you wear the backpack, what happens is your critical hit damage marked to enemies take 60% damage. Like, the enemy you mark, so whenever you fire your weapon, when you crit, you'll mark them, like a red marker will be on top of them, just like when you use the new exotic shotgun or the Hunter Fury, you will see a red icon on top of their head when you're critting. And when you're like hitting the marked enemy, the other marked enemies will also take damage. That's why I said 3 times more damage, because you can mark up to 3 targets. You mark 3 targets, you shoot any one of the 3 marked targets, and the other 2 marked targets will also take damage at the same time. Now it depends how much damage they take, whether you use the backpack or not. If you use the backpack, they will take 100% of that damage. If you don't use the backpack, they'll take 60% of that damage. So for example, let's say you are critting for 500k on a body to a target. If you have marked targets, so if you mark a second guy and a third guy, so if you're hitting the first marked guy, the second and the third guy will also take 500k crit damage, like crit numbers. It's gonna take them like that. So if you're firing your weapon on the first guy, the second and third guy is also going down at the same time. That's how strong Negotiator Dilma is. That's why I run it, that's simple as that. So that's why the backpack is really good, because you're going to do that 100% damage. So if you did 1 million damage on the first guy, if you have the backpack, you will do 1 million and 1 million damage on the second and the third guy. So overall, you did 3 million damage. So yeah, I mean, that's how I'm basically adding those 2 with me. So that's why I say 3 times, so yeah, now every time you kill marked targets, you gain 2% critical hit damage, and that stacks up to 20 times. So when you're in combat, if you kill 20 targets, you will have additional 40% crit damage. Yes, additional 40% crit damage. So if your build has, let's say, 200 crit damage, if you kill 20 targets while staying on combat, you're gonna have 240% critical hit damage at that point. And you will say 20 targets, it's a bit too much, you have to shoot 20. No, that's why the marked targets are there, marked targets, that's why. If you wear the backpack, the chest piece, you have 5 marked targets, so you only need to kill like 1 guy, and other 4 guys will die for you. So instead of 1, it will count 5. So same for this, instead of 1, it will count 3 basically. So it will stack up and you'll gain that additional crit damage. So that's why it's super strong. Now you can see I have weapon damage, crit damage, and crit damage mod, and also on my gloves I have weapon damage, crit damage. On the knee pads, I have weapon damage, crit damage, and all the holster also have weapon damage, crit damage, and it's an all red build. I mean, if you want, you can add some armor, but I don't really feel that way. I just use it like this. When the NPCs are shooting me, my Eagle Bearer kind of saves me from that. So I'm on a tenacity buff, and I just target them. I try to get those headshots with this, and if I feel like I'm taking a lot of damage, then I do armor kit myself, and the firewall armor kit is pretty strong. Like I said, you just keep on regenerating for 10 seconds, and I just basically face tank NPCs for 10 seconds. So that's super strong. So that's how I use this combination. You can pretty much run anything. You can run a rifle, you can run SMGs, you can run LMGs, you can go crazy with Negotiator Dilemma. Negotiator Dilemma is pretty strong. I run the assault rifle way. This is my favorite way of running it. Now let me show you my crits here. As you can see, I have 190% critical hit damage with the Eagle Bearer and 53 crit chance, which is fine because I have a Coyote Mask that will max out my crit chance anyway. And yeah, that's basically how I run it. Now let me show you what I mean by the 3 times damage here, if you just new to the game, if you just want to know. So I'm just gonna make this target here to hard, and let me show you here. So as you can see, there's multiple targets here. So if I like shoot one of them, you see that crit, that's a marked target. So that means he's crit, so it's marked target. Now there's another one, and there's another one right here. So you got 3 marked targets here. So if I shoot one guy like this, the other 2 is also taking damage. You see that? Look at that, look at that, look at that. Their health going down, so they're also taking at the same time the same damage. And you can just kill multiple guys like this. You just shoot one guy and multiple guy dies like this. So that's why I feel this is so good. This is really good for like speed run as well, for missions, heroic missions. If you're speed running, you can just keep on marking the guys and just shoot. Don't forget to mark. If you see a target, don't shoot one target like this. Always mark 3 targets and then fire. And it's also really great for NPCs who are trying to hide in cover. You can just mark the guy who before he's going to cover, and then they shoot the guy who's like out of cover, so the guy who's in cover will die. And when you're playing like the Warhounds against Warhounds, like Black Tusk NPCs, don't shoot the Warhounds. Don't fire on the Warhounds. Just target the Warhounds, mark them, and once you mark them, fire your weapon to someone else. Target someone else, because the Warhound will take direct health damage if you ignore them and shoot someone else, but you keep them marked, so they will die faster than you're going to like point and shoot at them. You will end up spending 2 or 3 mag on the Warhounds normally if you fire your weapon to the Warhound. But if you mark the Warhound and shoot someone else, the Warhound dies in like half a magazine. That's how crazy this is. And same for the heavy guys. You mark the heavy guy, shoot someone else. If you see there's, let's say, 2 other guys and 1 heavy guy, mark the 2 other guy and hit the heavy guy. The 2 other guy will die. So that's funny. That's how Negotiator Dilemma works, guys. That's how I love this build. This is my favorite build. So there you go. You were asking for it. This is the build. I run it, and I would recommend you guys to try it out if you don't have it already. And just let me know your thoughts, and let me know if you already use this build or not. I'm pretty sure most of you guys do, and this is like a must-have build basically. If you're playing this game and if you really are serious about it, it's a build you should have. You don't have to run Eagle Bearer. You don't have to run the way I run it. Just have 4-piece Negotiator and make sure you have the backpack, and then use whatever you want. If you're losing crit chance, go for Sheshka. If you want to make an SMG build, go for an SMG build. If you want to make Bullet King, go Bullet King. Doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. But this is my favorite build. This is how I run it, okay? So yeah, that's basically it for the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys liked the video. So yeah, enjoy the 31st night or the new year basically if you're already ahead. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.